Good morning and welcome back to Plaas TV. The 2020 Onderstepoort Feedlot Challenge has had to deviate from previous feedlot challenges, but it was nevertheless a huge success. Team Forrest Rump walked out victorious. The captain of this team, Charlton, recently visited us in studio to tell more about their success. We also chat to Dr. Dominik Reus from AGCO Africa, and Dr. Jan du Preez shed some light on Brucellosis and how it can be transmitted from animals to humans. But let's switch over to Lisa for the news first.
Welkom by vandag se nuus. Die nuwe wysigingswetsontwerp van die Wet op Landbouprodukte Agente is onlangs deur die Departement van Landbou aan die kabinet voorgelê en goedgekeur. Lewende hawe en uitvoerprodusente kan hierdeur beter beskerming en versekering van betaling kry. Die wetsontwerp vereis dat agente wat namens hierdie produsente optree, dit nie sonder trustrekeninge en getrouheidsversekering sal kan doen nie. Daar sal binnekort geleentheid wees vir openbare deelname en kommentaar op hierdie wetsontwerp. Die staatsprokureur het SA jagters onlangs in kennis gestel dat hulle die hofinterdik van Junie 2009, wat die ou groen vuurwapenlisensies geldig gehou het, wil herroep. Die staatsprokureur is van mening dat vuurwapeneienaars met die lisensies genoeg geleentheid gehad het om dit gedurende 3 amnestiegeleenthede te hernie. Daar is ongeveer 670.000 ou groen vuurwapenlisensies wat nog geldig kan wees. En die bruto binnelandse produksyfers wat van dese week deur Statistiek Suid-Afrika vrygestel is, dui op 'n afname van 51% in die tweede kwartaal van 2020. Volgens 'n persverklaring van Agri SA het hierdie 4de agtereenvolgende afname sedert die tweede kwartaal van 2019 die Suid-Afrikaanse ekonomie in 'n resessie gedompel. Volgens Statistiek Suid-Afrika het die landbousektor as gevolg van 'n toename in akkerbou, tuinbou en diereproduksie met 15,1% gegroei. Die sektor was die enigste positiewe bydraer tot die bruto binnelandse produk met 'n bydrae van 0,3 persentasiepunte in die tweede kwartaal. En dis dan vandag se nuus, maar moenie weggaan nie.
Simparika by Zuyetis, your best friend's best friend.
The Onderstepoort Feedlot Challenge has adopted a slightly different format this year, but has nevertheless produced excellent results. Charlton is the captain of the winning team, and I'd like to congratulate them on their name for this team, and this is Forrest Rump. How original, Brett.
Thank you.
Welcome to Plaas TV. Just give us background on how does this Onderstepoort Feedlot Challenge work?
So the Feedlot Challenge happens in the 5th year of study at Onderstepoort, and all at the beginning of the year the students are split into groups. And then the groups are given a list of what available drugs, vaccines, feed ingredients are available. And then in our groups we have to decide on protocols, on how we're going to approach, so like a strategy. Then we need to decide what vaccines we're going to use, what treatments we're going to have, how we're going to mix our feed and all of that. Then we need to estimate what our usage is going to be and submit an order form. Then after that we move on to the mock auction. At the mock auction, each group bids on the lots of animals that are available. After that, the animals that you purchased are placed into your allocated pen. And from that point onwards, they're in your control, your care. And you have to implement your strategies, your plans, and that begins the very next day when those animals have to be processed as the start of the challenge.
What did you learn from this challenge?
I learned quite a few things, but the biggest one that stuck out for me was how it's the beginning that counts in the Feedlot Challenge. So that first 6 to 8 weeks is so crucial for an animal and has such a big effect on that animal. And if you can manage that period well to reduce stress, reduce disease, and increase its feed intake, you lay such a good foundation for that animal to do exceptionally well. I also learned what a big impact low-stress cattle handling has on the animals and what a valuable tool that can be and such a skill to possess.
Now, COVID-19 was a challenge to all of us, and
Yes.
and practical training at the university couldn't happen the way that it usually does. So what did you have to do and adapt to make the best of this challenge?
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Our practical involvement was cut short very prematurely. But luckily, when we were in our absence, the challenge continued. The data recording carried on. So we were lucky enough to get weekly, bi-weekly data reports. So we knew exactly what our animals' intake was, what their gains were, what the diseases were, treatments, etc. So we knew what was going on with our animals. And that's the beauty of data. And it definitely gave a different perspective on it, because using data to see what's going on when you're not there actually developed a completely different skill, which I think will be definitely valuable one day.
Now, you might have future veterinarians listening to the program or watching us today. Which part of the Feedlot Challenge was particularly challenging for you, and how did you work together as a team to overcome these challenges?
So for us, we struggled particularly with feed bunk management. In the beginning, we were overfeeding the animals, and then when we try to correct that, we'd underfeed them. And then we try and correct the underfeeding, and then some of them would overeat, and then we had incidents of acidosis and GRT upsets, and then we went backwards and forwards for about 2 weeks of that. So that was particularly challenging. But as a group, we came together very well. People were responsible. They did what was required of them. They were more than willing to help. Whenever anything needed to be done, they were there. Whenever someone needed help, there was someone willing to help. And that definitely went such a long way in helping.
And how many students in a team?
It ranged from about 18 to 20 in a team. So quite large teams, but it definitely helps when, especially with feed mixing and handling the animals, more people sometimes definitely did help.
Now, you've gone through it, you've got the experience, you've got the t-shirt, you've got the name. So what would your advice be for students that would like to take part in this challenge next year?
Be involved. The Feedlot Challenge for me was such a valuable teaching model, and you can learn so much, and you really do need to use it to its full extent. So I'd say be involved, ask questions, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to be wrong as well. It's there, you can learn from it, so use it. And then obviously try your utmost to make that first 6 weeks of that animal's time in there as stress-free and disease-free as possible, and lay that excellent foundation to give that animal the head start that it needs.
Brett, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That was Brett Charlton. He's the captain of the winning team, Forrest Rump. And they were the overall winners in this year's Onderstepoort Feedlot Challenge.
Goeiemôre kykers. In vandag se kommoditeitsmarkverslag kan daar gesien word dat die prys van A2 beeskarkasse verlede week skerp gestyg het met 5%, en dit kan wees as gevolg van 'n groter vraag nou dat restaurante weer meer operasioneel is en mense meer kan uit eet. C2 beeskarkasse het ook met 0,3% gestyg, terwyl die speenkalfprys effens teruggesak het. Wat skaapvleis aanbetref het A2 en C2 karkasse basies sywaarts verhandel, terwyl die speenlamprys ook net met 'n klein hoeveelheid gestyg het. Varkvleis is egter ook sterker met 3,3%. Natuurlike vesel aanbetref het die wolmark met 1,1% herstel hierdie week op die veiling, terwyl die bokhaar egter slegter al was en die gemiddelde prys met 1,2% gedaal het. In die graanmarkte was daar ook gemengde reaksies. Geelmielie-prys wat 2,3% op is, terwyl die koringprys teruggesak het met 3,3% en oliesade met sojabone en sonneblomme wat onderskeidelik met 1% en 2,7% gestyg het, terwyl die wisselkoers die week basies sywaarts gebly beweeg het.
NutriFeeds, die formule vir sukses. AGCO Corporation, tuiste van Challenger, Fendt, Massey Ferguson en Valtra.
AGCO Corporation, designer and manufacturer of the Challenger, Fendt, Massey Ferguson and Valtra agricultural brands, has adapted a two-tier distribution model to shorten the route to its customers. Today we launch a series of discussions with the AGCO Africa MD. Now I have to get this surname right, that is Dr. Dominik Reus. And we're looking at the way forward for AGCO distribution management in South Africa. But on today's show, we get acquainted with AGCO Corporation. Yes, Dominik, we know all these brands and these tractor names like Fendt, Massey Ferguson, Challenger, but many people do not know who AGCO is. Perhaps you can shed some light on that problem.
Sure. Yeah, as you already mentioned, AGCO is a global leader in the design, the manufacturing and the distribution of agricultural machines. AGCO is a quite young company, which is about 30 years old, but has acquired a lot of very iconic and well-known brands like Massey Ferguson, Fendt, Challenger, which have a very long history, which goes up to 150 years back. So AGCO is focusing purely and solely on production or producing machines for the agricultural industry. So we are producing, next to tractors, harvesting equipment, seeding and tillage equipment, also grain storage solutions and protein production solutions, which is not that much known than our brands are in the machinery part of the business.
Tell us about your history in Africa.
The history of our brands is a very long one in Africa. So Massey Ferguson has sold their first tractors in South Africa already in the 1940s. And yeah, all across Africa we have some very iconic models like the old Massey Ferguson 135 and 165, which we still, in whatever country you go, you still find them, and most of them are still in operation, which is quite nice to see. So even in the 60s already, we had, or the Massey Ferguson tractor was printed on a banknote in Ethiopia. So it's a very long history that we have in Africa.
Interesting, but Africa is a very vast region with many challenges.
Definitely, for me it's a very exciting region. So, and all the challenges are also quite big opportunities. Definitely very different challenges across Africa and very different situations, but on the other side, it has a huge potential. It has the biggest potential. We have about 60% of the uncultivated arable land around the globe is in Africa. So Africa has a potential, next to feeding its rapidly growing population in Africa, also to have a major contribution in feeding the world and other people in other parts of the world, where we have the same situation, that the arable land gets smaller and smaller and the population is growing. So that makes Africa so exciting for us. So it today is only a quite small part of our business, our global business. But we see it as a huge potential, and it will definitely grow in the next years to become a major contributor to our business.
Now, with the infrastructure expansion and training development well established, where is the focus moving to?
Yes, so as you said, the last decade was pretty much the expansion of our infrastructure, and now we are shifting the focus into the capacity building and into really providing better solutions for our customers. So customer-focused solution provider, instead of being a provider just for machinery, being a provider for customer solutions, which includes, next to the products, also the services from us and our distribution partners. That will be the next step.
Well, that was the first interview, or the first part of a two-part series with AGCO, and we will be focusing on their future plans in the next episode. And we thank Dr. Dominik Reus. He's the MD of AGCO in Africa.
AGCO Corporation, tuiste van Challenger, Fendt, Massey Ferguson en Valtra. Standard Bank. Voluit vorentoe.
Brucellose is 'n zoonotiese siekte. Dis waaroor ons vandag met Dr. Jan du Preez gesels het. Nou hierdie is 'n reeks waarmee ons besig is op Plaas TV. So as jy die vorige 2 wat ons gehad het met hom misgeloop het, gaan kyk gerus na vorige programme. Hy het eers gepraat oor wat is zoonose en toe praat hy oor hondstolheid. Nou vandag, soos jy gehoor het, gesels ons oor brucellose. Wat is brucellose? Hoe word dit oorgedra?
Ek wil eers sê, kyk, brucellose kom, soos jy gesê het, baie voor in Suid-Afrika. Suid-Afrika se beeste is baie besmet. Jy kry brucellose nie net in beeste nie, jy kry dit in honde, jy kry dit in varke, jy kry dit in skape, jy kry dit in bokke en jy kry dit in wild. So die impak is baie groot op ons wild, jy weet, lewende diere. Nou brucellose is 'n bakterie wat jy hom inkry, dan kan jy baie siek word. Maar kyk, by mense noem ons dit brucellose as ook maltakoors. Hoekom doen ons dit? Want die eerste geval waar daai bakterie geïsoleer en geïdentifiseer het, was in die eiland Malta. So, en beeste noem ons dit brucellose of besmetlike misgeboorte. Ons sê die besmetlike misgeboorte, omdat die dier, gewoonlik die beeste, maar die bokke doen dit ook, en die skape ook, aborteer hulle fetus. Die beeste gewoonlik aborteer hy die fetus so op 5, 6, 7 maande. Maar ons grootste probleem met brucellose is, kyk, die koei sal een keer aborteer. Jy weet, baie beeste aborteer oor baie goed. Maar en dan herstel sy van die aborsie, jy weet, sy kom baie gou daaroor, maar dan kan sy dit vir etlike maande in haar melk uitskei. En dan as jy nie as jy daai melk inkry, in die melk of in die verwerkte produkte van melk, dan doen jy brucellose op. En brucellose, ek sou sê, dit is een van die baie ernstige siektes. As jy nie vroeg gediagnoseer word nie, dan kan jy baie siek word. As dit kronies is, van daai bakterie gaan intracellulêr in 'n mens naderhand in.
En hoe weet jy of jy brucellose het?
Ek dink ek moet net die simptome wat jy kry, dit is belangrik. Jy het nou melk gedrink. Kyk, ek sal eers sê, daar moenie ongepasteuriseerde melk gedrink word nie, want pasteurisasie, daai proses, maak alle siekte veroorsakende kieme in die melk, maak hy dood. Suid-Afrika produseer 3,3 miljoen ton melk per jaar, ons 650.000 melkbeeste. En kyk, daar's baie in die melk, wat in die net is, maar die pasteurisasie maak hulle dood. Maar dan kry ons melk wat nie gepasteuriseer is nie. Ons praat daarvan, dis melk buite die net. Ek sou sê ongeveer amper so 200.000 ton melk 'n jaar word nie gepasteuriseer nie. Kyk, waar boere melkery, hy pasteuriseer sy melk nie. En waar party mense uit 1 koei of 2 koei of 'n bok of so, en hy gebruik daai melk, dit word nie gepasteuriseer nie, en baie van daai goed het brucellose.
Maar behalwe vir melk, is daar nie 'n ander manier hoe 'n plaaswerker of 'n boer brucellose kan opdoen nie?
Kyk, omdat die beeste so baie aborteer, of die boerbokke aborteer, of die skape aborteer, en dan gewoonlik baie keer dan sit daai maaggeboorte van die beeste vas. En dan uit onkunde, dan trek jy nie handskoene aan nie, dan gaan help jy nou om dit reg te kry, en dan kry jy dit in. Maar as 'n koei brucellose gehad het, sy skei daai bakterie vir 'n maand of 2 of 3 uit, en dit gaan partykeer, jy weet, deur die geslagskanaal, en dan val die urine op die konkreet, en dan kry jy wind, en dan kry jy druppelbesmet, en asem jy dit in. Dit kan jy kan dit so ook opdoen. So, dis met regte kontak, of jy drink besmette melk, of jy asem dit in.
Nou ja, dit was meer oor brucellose. Dankie aan Dr. Jan du Preez. Volgende keer op Plaas TV, as ons weer met hom gesels, dan praat ons oor papegaai siekte. So, onthou om dan te kyk.
Netafim. Grow more with less.
Die 2020 Toyota SA Jong Afslaerskompetisie is vanjaar virtueel aangebied. Onder andere is een van die kategorieë 'n People's Choice kategorie. Kyk gerus nou na die video's en kies jou gunsteling afslaer deur sy naam en nommer te WhatsApp na 066 231 2430. Stemme sluit 22 September 2020.
I got a 7,050, I got a 7,071, I got a 7,150, 7,172, I got a 7,2, I got a 7,250, no, 7,2, I got a 7,3, 7,3, I got a 7,350, 7,350, I got a 7,4, 7,4, I got a 7,4, I got a 7,450, 7,450, I got a 7,5, 7,5, I got a 7,5, jy allemaal klaar, 7,550, 7,550, I got a 7,5, dat is 10 jou, 7,6.
En 15,000, 10,000 hierdie kant nou, en 10,000 maak vol, ja 10,000, wat sê hulle nou, 11, moet ek nou 11 nou, anybody 12, me 12, this side, 12, this side, nou, ek moet 12,000 nou, 13, en 13, moet ek nou 13, anybody 13, give me 14, 14, now 14, maar 13, anybody 15, en 15,000 nou, so 15,000 hierdie kant down low, 15 nou, anybody 15, give me 15, moet ek nou 15, en 15, 15,000, like met 16, nou, en nummer 16, anybody 16,000, en 16,000, give me 16, anybody 16, moet ek nou 16.
18,5, op 18,5, nou is er op 18,500, die kom je baken vandaag op 18,5, maar 19,000, maar 19,000, op 19,000, maar 19,000, maar 19,000, maar 19,5, 19,5, 20,000, maar 20,000, no, op 20,000, maar 20,000, maar 21, maar 21, maar 22, maar 22, maar 22, op 20.
Dan gevat 17,000 nou, 17,000 na meneer 18,000 na 18,000 nou, 19,000 na meneer 19,000 na 19,000, kleintjie gevat 19,5, op 19,500 na meneer 19,5, aber 19,500, 20,000 nou, 20,000 na, op 20,500 hy kant gevat, 20,500 nou, allemaal klaar, 20,500.
We go. Had a 40,000 naira, but a 42, and a 22 naira, but a 45. Had 45,000 naira, but a 47 naira, but a 47,000 naira, but a 47 now, but me 50 naira, but a 50,000 no. Had 50,000 naira, but a 55, but a 55,000 naira, but a 60,000 now. Had 60,000 now, make it a 70 naira.
80, look at a 90 now. I got a 90, look at a 20 now. I got a 20, look at a 21, a 21, a 21, and 22, a 22, and 23 now. A 22,000 again, no, and a 24, and a 25 now. A 25, I got a 25, a 26 meneer. A 26,000 meneer. I got a 25 now, look at a 26. Dames en heren, allemaal om mijn kamer. Kijk voor 26,000, ik heb 15. 15, 16,000 rand, 16, 17, 17,000 rand, 17, 18. Maak het 18,000 rand, 18,000 now, 18,000 rand, 18,000 rand, 18,000 now, 18,000 rand, 18,000, 19,000 net, 18,000 rand, 18,000, make it 19,000 rand, 18,000, no more dan voor eerste rit, voor die derde, maar laatste mal op 18,000. 22,5, 23,5, 33, 33,5, 34, 34,000, 34,5, 35, 35,000, no, 25,5, 36, op 26,000, 26,5, 37, 27,000, 27,5, 28,000.
van 15, dankie, raad van 15,000, asking 16, raad van 16, raad van 16, asking 17, raad van 17, 17,000, raad van 18, raad van 18, dankie, raad van 18, raad van 19, asking 19, let's go, 19,000, raad van 19, maak je kopie vol, raad van 20, asking 21, raad van 21, dankie, raad van 22, raad van 22, let's go, raad van 22, raad van 23, raad van 23, raad van 23, aan my linkerkant.
At 11 now, but at 12, at 12 now, but at 12, at 12,000 now. At 12 now, 13, but at 13, at 13 now, 14. At 14 now, but at 15,000 now, but at 15, at 15,000. At 15 now, but at 15 now, 16,000, at 16 now, 17. At 17,000 and now, the lovely bulls here at 17,000 now, but at 17.
And I got 11 now, 12. At 12, there's around, I got 12, now make it 13. At 13, there's around, I got 13, now make it 14. At 14, 14, let's go 15. At 15, there's around, I got 16, 16, now make it 17. At 17, there's around, I got 17, now give it a 18. At 18, there's around, I got 18, mark 19. At 19, 19, let's go 20. At 20, 20, now make it 22. At 22, I got a 22, now give it a 24. At 24, 24, now let's go 26. At 26, now give it a 28.
50,000, 30, 30,000 now, 30, get with 20, 20,000, 20,000 hit tag, 25 hier zo, 25,000 naar 30, 30,000, 30,000 nou, 30,000, 35, 35,000, 35 hier zo bij 40, 40,000 aan de 40,000 hier zo, 40,000 dames hier, 40,000 hier, 45, 50, 50,000, 50,000, 50.
19, was the Hilux born a legend? Nah, it was made one. By him, that beast, that guy, those legends. These guys, you, definitely you, and this muddy crew. It was made one by that wow, that woo, him, and without a doubt, them. The Hilux wasn't born a legend, it was made one by you.
Wil u 'n toptrop hê? BioBoost is 'n gebalanseerde voedingsaanvulling wat u sal help om die diere se volle potensiaal te bereik. BioBoost help om die diere se reproduksie, produksie en immuniteit te verbeter. Voor u 'n voedingsaanvulling kies, kyk eers watter produk die meeste regmerkies het. Kies BioBoost en sluit vandag by die toptropspan aan. Beskikbaar by u dieregesondheidverskaffer of vra u by 'n agent.
Moenie maandag se episode van Plaas TV mis nie. Die span het onlangs by die Landbou Navorsingsraad gaan inloer om met Sandra Erasmus oor die grootmaak van suiwelkalvers te gesels. Tot dan, geniet jou naweek.